Hey you guys, welcome back. Another video. This one's different. Not actually fishing. So, we're going to talk about fishing. It's real cold outside. The big freeze comes tonight. Let's hope the fish fare well. But in the meantime, till I can get back out there, I just want to run through my setups with you guys. Rods, reels, lines, lures. Stuff that I usually take and I usually use. Let's get into it. Hey guys, let's start out with some rods and reels. These are the two I always take. I've got my Waterloo HP Lite. I've had this rod for over 10 years. It does everything. It's a great rod. I suggest it to a lot of people. I've broken it a couple times. Waterloo's replaced it for a reasonable price. It's a 6'7". I've thrown everything with it, but when I use a heavier bait, it really almost overloads the rod. And so that's why I've picked up recently this HP Slam Mag. This is a stiffer rod. This is a medium action, extra fast. It recovers really fast. That's my now Corky and Topwater rod. It's been good so far. I want to keep testing it. My two reels. I've been a Shimano guy a long time. This is a Citica I. It's a couple years old. I've got my Casitas. It's a couple years old. It's a 150 size, and I think from now I'll go 150 size or smaller. Just it's lighter, fits the hand better. I'm using 20-pound braid. I used 30-pound forever. I just switched to 20. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. Usually don't need 30-pound test. Here I've got Windtamer. I've been using Windtamer forever. It's great. You know, I don't have any problems with it. It casts great. I'm used to it. It's not that expensive. Here I've got the Suffix 832. It's a lot smoother feeling. I have had it unravel some, but I'm still trying it out. But the Windtamer, you can't beat it. Here's some other rods I have and have used and still use. These are more economically priced, still quality rods. I have this Lew's American Hero. I got them two for $60 a year or two ago. I've got a bunch of them. They're great, light, sensitive. Not everybody can be throwing Waterloo, Sarge, and Laguna until you're ready to fish with that type of stuff, but these Lew's rods are great. And I've had a bunch of these TFOs. They're pretty good rods, decent quality. Both these rods, my only problem has been the eyes, either corroding or falling out. So yeah, these are some alternatives. I mean, there's plenty of great rods. Falcon, Castaway. If you can find a great rod for a decent price and catch just as many fish, the fish don't care. Alright guys, let's start with CORKYS. I always take CORKYS, especially looking for trout. I've kind of broke these down into 3 different topics. I've got clear water, nice looking water, lots of sunshine, I'm going sparkly. This is the copper top. This is a custom Corky, like a bone silver. The old day glow, can't go wrong with him. More off color water, stained, darker green. I've got these guys. You got the hot head, trout love the hot head. Electric chicken, can't go wrong with that anytime. I've got the turnip here. I like the turnip because of that line. It offers a lot of contrast in the water. Overcast days, clear water, off color water, red shad, plum chartreuse, solid choices. And I've also thrown in some of Steve's lures, the BrokenBacks. These lures really suspend well. I'd say this for cleaner to green water. This one here, the baby trout, I have caught a ton of fish on this bait. It just, when it comes through the water, it gets this snake looking thing going, and it really, ooh, I love it. And also, if I'm going shallow, I'll throw the floater. The only thing that irks me about the floater is it does like to sink like this. So I try to keep some tension on it to where it falls more naturally maybe. The Fatboy, he does a nice little wobble as he falls. That's hard to beat. One more little difference I wanted to cover. These are different kinds of Corkys. This is a standard Mirrolure, made in wherever they're making them now. Great quality, can't go wrong with them. You could stick with just these, it'd be fine. These are the custom Corky. These are still made by Mirrolure. Just they get blanks and they paint them, they put red hooks. I like the different colors they offer. This is the Pro Series Mirrolure. Its internals are a little different. It's got a solid chunk of flash. And like Jay Watkins says, if you're a tuner, these are harder to tune because they're built differently. Here you got a tube. Here you've got a bigger chunk of flash built in. But these work great. These work great. And here's the floater. The floater does not rattle. I don't know why, but it tends to sink like this. That's kind of a breakdown of Fatboys. Alright guys, we're heading into hard baits, top waters. If the water's warming up and there's bait up shallow, wrasse a mullet, you can't beat it. Caught my biggest trout, one of the biggest on this one last year. This Top Dog Jr trout pattern. I like it. It's got a single knock to it. You got your big spook. You can have some big blow-ups on that. You've got your Skitterwalk. Plenty of quality fish on this guy here. And you got the Junior when you need to downsize a little bit. Mirrolure She-Dog. This thing's like a trash can full of rocks. You got a wind-blown shoreline, ugly water. It'll call some fish out. Spook Jr. You could throw these all day. They catch a ton of fish. And blast from the past is the good old Jumpin Minnow. It's got a little customization on it, but these were the deal back in the 90s. I still got a few. You can get them pretty cheap. Great baits. As a bonus, I've started using jerk baits as well. This is a Megabass Vision 110 floater. Caught quite a few fish on this the other day. I've already changed the hooks. It's an expensive bait, but it is fun to use. Something different. And I've got the Rapala Shadow Wrap. I changed the hooks on him as well. I haven't caught as many fish on him. He fishes a little deeper, I believe. This guy floats up a little quicker. Hey guys, want to throw a few more hard baits in the mix. It's the Mirrolure Mirrodine. These are great baits. They catch a lot of fish. You can throw them in there with Corky and they suspend and move all over the place. A great bait that I haven't thrown in a while, but I've caught a ton of fish on it, is the Unfair Lures, the Rip and Slash. And it's got a bunch of rattles in it. When water's really warming up and there's small bait fish, the trout will go nuts on these things. Throwing it back to the past, here's an old 51 MR. I used to throw this one at night, but he's seen some better days. And this here is a classic. So classic, I moved the eye from the head to the nose, filled it with super glue, just like we used to do back in the good old days. But you can't go wrong with these guys either. These old baits still catch fish. All right, let's talk about soft plastics. When the going gets tough, the tough get their soft plastics out. They will always catch fish. A lot of times in the winter, if I'm not catching fish on Corky and the fish are really stuck to the bottom, you can't beat a slow rolled soft plastic or a small darter type bait thrown in their face. Deep, shallow, doesn't matter. It all started here for me with the Bass Assassin 4-inch swimming shad. Incredible action, but they're not that tough. They don't last too long. I still use them though. Great action. I switched to the Slayer, the Sinister Swimtail 3.5. Great action on these guys. Very durable baits. See that big tail? I highly recommend these. Jig heads, 1/8 ounce, typically day in and day out, covering a wide range of depths. If you're going to go shallower, I've got some of these smaller jig heads. These things will stay down in the strike zone a little longer. Or if you're just fishing real shallow. With the short shank, you get a lot of action on that tail. And a darter style bait like the Little John, great baits. You can hop it around. That up down action in their face, love it. Gonna try something new. Speckled Truth again, give a shout out. This is the new Kelley Wiggler. Well, it's not a new bait, new color to these guys, but looking forward to trying these. Looks like an awesome clear water color, lots of sparkle there. Alright guys, here's a little recap. If I'm looking for those big fish, I'm going to start shallow. Warmer water, lots of bait, big blow-ups, the Topwater. He's getting the nod. Start out with him. Then I'll go to the floater. He really suspends a lot longer, especially the saltier the water is. If I'm going to go start fishing knee deep and deeper to waist deep, the conventional Fatboy here, he'll cover that ground, especially if I'm going to fish much deeper with a suspending style bait. There's no limit here on this guy. Count them down, let them sink. If I really want to probe the bottom, I'll go soft plastic, 1/8 or 1/4 ounce, depending how deep it is. And you can throw a soft plastic in any depth. Lighter jig head, suspend it more in the shallow zone. Covering that range, I got this new jerk bait. I fish him right now in 3 to 4 feet of water. Gonna try it a little shallower because he floats up real well. Anyways, that's kind of an overview of how I would plan an attack on some bigger fish. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I know it's not fishing, but it's the next best thing. Playing with tackle, rods, reels, lines, making sure everything's ready to go for the next trip. This is the day before the big freeze. I hope it's not as bad as it's forecasted or could be. Not another 83 or 89 freeze. Hope the fish can survive and we can all get back out there and get them. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. It's fun for me. Talk about fishing, lures, tackle. Thanks for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Stay warm.